Is biology destiny is an important question argued by Simone De Beauvoir in her book The Second Sex. Simone De Beauvoir goes back to our earliest conceptions of biology to show how science itself served to reduce the power and potential of the female in favor of the male. In conception, for instance, the passivity of the female was contrasted with the active principle of male sperm, which was thought to determine all the characteristics of the newborn. Yet in conception, Simone de Beauvoir notes, neither male or female gamete is superior to the other, rather they both lose their total individuality when the egg is fertilized. The burden of the continuity of life is still a female one, and in the energy and time required for this, the female's possibilities are severely restricted because, I quote, the woman is adapted to the needs of the egg rather than to her own requirements. From puberty to menopause, she is at the mercy of a body changing itself according to reproductive needs and must put up with a monthly reminder of this. In pregnancy, in the early stages, vomiting and loss of appetite signalize the revolt of the organism against the invading species. Many a woman's maladies are not from external threats, but dealing with her own, often problematic reproductive system. Moreover, the more intense emotionality of women is related to irregularities in secretions in the endocrine system, which have an effect on the nervous system. A lot of these traits, Simone de Beauvoir points out, originate in woman's subordination to the species. In contrast, I quote, the male seems infinitely favored. His sexual life is not in opposition to his existence as a person, and biologically it runs an even course without crisis and generally without mishap. Though women tend to live longer than men, they are ill more often and overall are less in control of their bodies. Their bodies control them. However, menopause can bring liberation as a woman is no longer determined or judged according to the childbearing function. A woman's biological features are therefore the key to understanding her situation in life, but Simone de Beauvoir says, I deny that they establish for her a fixed and inevitable destiny. Biology is not reason enough for male or female inequality or grounds for woman being cast as other, and her physicality does not condemn her to remain subordinate. Moreover, while animals can be studied as static organisms, it is much harder to make assessments of people as male or female human beings since our sex does not define us in the way that it does other animals. So, physical inferiority, for instance, becomes meaningless if there is an absence of violence and wars. If society is different, so the evolution of physical attributes also changes. So, Simone de Beauvoir hopefully says, physical differences are not a reason or not a limitation for women to being as a superior or an equal, but people misjudge the concept of physical limitations as a reason to oppress women or to consider women as second sex or inferior.